Hey everyone, this is Sarah from DevOps Junction Middleware Inventory. So in this video, we are going to see how to import all existing security groups in your AWS account to Terraform using Ansible. So I have written an Ansible playbook which connects to AWS account programmatically and fetch all your security group and run an Terraform import command on each security group and make it as a Terraform infrastructure as code uh, configuration so that you would be able to manage all your security groups right with Terraform from your terminal or from your local machine. So this is the objective of this video, and I have written a blog post of explaining all these detailed, so you can actually go ahead and read more about it, and you can just come back and see this video. Now let's go to the post. Now here I'm in my terminal. Let me show you the playbook. This is the playbook. If you look at the post, you would be able to see that there are explanation for each of these tasks. I would be able to give you a summary of all these tasks very quickly as possible. Here this playbook has 6 tasks, as I mentioned. The first task is to connect to AWS and get all the security groups. This task is done using a EC2 group facts Ansible module. So Ansible is connecting to AWS in this module, in this task, and just fetching all the information. And here we are not taking all the security groups, but we are taking a very specific VPC. So we are choosing a very particular VPC and taking all the security groups beneath this VPC. If you do not want, you can actually remove this filter and you can just take all your security group. That is up to your wish. So the second task is, once we have fetched all this information, there would be lot more data which is not needed for us. So we are going to just create a dictionary, a set of data hash with only the information that we want. The information that we want is security group ID and the name. So we are creating a dictionary named secdict, and this would be used across the playbook on various levels, and even in fact all upcoming tasks. So the third task is creating the directory, which is we are going to create a directory for each individual security group that we are actually fetching, and these directories would be created beneath the workspace that you are defining right here in the var section using dest-dir variable. So if you want it to be in temp or even in your home directory or anything, you make sure you update it. So this is a path which I am going to take from my local. So you make sure that you update it. The second thing that you have to update before executing this playbook is your VPC ID, if you are ready, if you are going with a VPC. And the fourth task in our playbook is a Terraform import. So once the security groups are fetched and the directories are created for all the security groups, we need to execute a set of commands to import all these security groups properly. So this task right here, the Terraform import task, is what it will do. It will go into the each directory which is created in the previous task and initialize a JIT. It would create an empty repository and would create a file named main.tf with few necessary configuration parameters which is needed for Terraform to function properly, so that it would be able to perform the import right. And here it is a provider AWS configuration, so our provider is a AWS. So if you know Terraform, you would be able to understand what is this exactly. If you're not aware of what is Terraform and you would like to know the basics of Terraform and how Terraform and AWS works together, we have a article in middleware inventory. You can search for it, or we have a link mentioned which would directly take you to the link in that post, so you can just refer it. And these are the commands that we are actually executing one after another. So once the file is ready, we would be importing we would be executing terraform init command, which would make the directory ready for terraform related task. And then once the terraform init is done, we would be executing the actual terraform import command with the corresponding security id. So this item.id is coming from the loop iteration, the secdict, the direct dictionary that we have created at the second stage right here. And once the import is done, so all these imports would be done in a corresponding directory. Once the import is done, we would again have to make few more changes in the terraform configuration file. That's what we are doing here. And once it is done, we would be executing this terraform show command to show the exact configuration, and we would be saving the output back to main.tf file. And then we would be doing a git add and status. These are the lines that we would be doing. So this is what we are going to do in terraform import tasks. Now this is the next task, which is to change the configuration. So why we are doing this is, the file that we are getting with terraform import or terraform show would not be it is actually correct, syntactically correct, but it would not be able to it would not be it is not eligible to be used with terraform for your further automations. So because it would have few elements which needs to be removed. So the elements would be like ARN, SID and owner ID. These are all often an auto generated values which has to be removed, so that the terraform files would be like the way that you are going to write it. So it can be used. So these are all auto generated value. Terraform would not let you define it beforehand, so that it would not be able to syntactically become right. So when you are executing terraform validate command, if these values are present, it would not be validated, it would not be a right file. So we are removing this. And finally we are performing the terraform validate on each of this file beneath all these groups which has been dedicatedly created for the security groups. So if the output is having success in the terraform validate command has a success, resulting in a success, it would be successful, the Ansible playbook would continue. And if it is not there, we are actually failing this entire playbook, mentioning using the failed when. If you would like to understand what is failed when or what is line in file and everything, there are articles which I have hyperlinked in the post. You can actually go ahead and read further, or you can search in middleware inventory website, you would be able to get it. Now let me take you to the execution part. Now before executing it, I want to tell you, for Ansible and for Terraform to connect to AWS, you have to have an AWS programmatic access. If you don't know what is programmatic access, you can actually go ahead and read an article which I have hyperlinked about how to set up the how to set up this programmatic access. So programmatic access is nothing but you would have to set up an AWS authentication key and a secret key in your environment variable, so that these Ansible and Terraform would be able to connect and perform an automations for you. So I am doing my AWS these are my AWS keys that I'm actually exporting it to my environment. So you have to do like export AWS secret access key and export AWS access key ID, something like that. So this value would be something specific for you, so you would be able to generate it in the IAM screen on your AWS management console. If you would like to know more how to generate this, there are a lot of articles that I would I have written an article, so you would be able to. So these are the few articles that I would like to read. So first, Ansible CLI examples, like Ansible CLI EC2, you would be able to just this is one of the article. Yeah, so sometimes if you would like to go ahead, you can just type DevOps or middleware inventory, so that you would be able to. So here you would be able to see what is CLI and how to make sure that Ansible and AWS are integrated, how to install Python and everything, and what are the data that you might need, and how you can use this AWS authentication and everything. And also, if you'd like to if you are very new to Terraform, you can actually go ahead and check my another article. So Terraform AWS example, just go ahead and read this article. So here you can actually see how to create and how to use Terraform with AWS, and what data is needed, and how you can create AWS accounts and everything. I mean, AWS keys and everything, you would be like, we have detailedly explained here. So we have screenshots also, which you would be able to just enlarge it and see it. So these are the article that I would like you to go ahead and read before coming back, if you are new to this entire Terraform and Ansible thing. Now let's go back. So we have explained all these tasks in detail. Now let's go ahead and execute this playbook and see how the output is working. Since we have already exported these two variables, necessary variables, AWS secret access key and AWS access key, we would not be having any issues for Ansible and also for Terraform to connect to AWS. So our playbook should function properly. So as I mentioned earlier, you have to update your destination directory and your VPC, so that I mean, you would be able to execute it without any hassles. So make sure that you are using the right directory, which has to be present, of course. So this directory is present in my local. So this is a directory. I have nothing here, you can actually see, and in this directory all my security groups will be created. Now I'm back. Let's go ahead to my AWS console real quick, so that I would be able to show you what are the AWS resources that I have and everything. So I'm in here. I would show my VPC. I'm going to my VPC right here, and I'm just clicking on my VPCs, and this is the VPC that I have taken for the example, and I'm just taking it and going to the security groups section. Okay, I have to come back and I have to go to EC2, and I have to search for security groups, going here, and let me type my VPC ID. So these are the three security groups I have which belongs to this VPC ID. So these are the security groups that I would be actually getting. So in some cases, let's say I can actually have the same security group name. Just say that this is test. So I can have one or more security group with the same name. Is it? Oh, okay. So this is a reserved name. I cannot use it. So let's go back and take a existing security group name. So like web security group. So I'm creating a new security group named the same, which is already present. So the VPC is Gridfee. This is the VPC, and I'm just creating a security group. Okay, in some cases you would be able to create security groups with same names, which would be similar names. So in order to just how to say, differentiate it, what I have done is, like, while creating the directory, you would be adding this couple of digits of the security group ID, so that there would be no confusion. Now the security groups are ready. So we are going to just see the security groups belongs to the very specific VPC. And now let me show you one of the security group right here. So this is the configuration of my web security group. So let this be here, and go back and execute the playbook that we have developed, which imports. So I'm executing Ansible playbook vpc sec group.yml. there is no hosts defined. This is a local host based task because we have defined it right here that to run local host, the host is local. So it would not connect to any remote host, so it can be run on local. It would connect to the AWS as it's supposed to. Now it is creating the directories under the desk directory, whatever we have defined in this desk dir. So let's wait, let this execution complete. So it is performing the import for all these security groups. First it has done for web security group, and now it would be doing for default and then app security group. Once it is done, we are ready to it would be also validating it. Once the validation is successful, we can go ahead and use these security groups and make further amendments and go ahead and check it in the AWS management console. So meanwhile, while this task is executing, I would like to clarify, some of you had a question. Middleware inventory and DevOps junction both are same. I actually created a new brand so that you would be able to easily remember it. So DevOps junction and middleware inventory both are same. You can actually come back to the same middlwareinventory.com domain even if you are checking devopsjunction.com. So it's easy to remember, so I just went with the name. If you have any comments for me, just let me know on the comment section. So the task is completed, so it is validating all the security group and the validation is successful. That is why it is changed. Otherwise it would actually say a failed, it would show an error. So now the task is completed. Let's go to the directory. Earlier we have come to this directory and we did an LSLRT and made sure that there was nothing. So now I'm going to the same directory. I should be able to see these three security groups have created a three security group directories, like one for each. And now I'm going inside. So these are the backup files that the line in file module has created. So I just have created so that in case of any error, you would be able to just retain your infrastructure configuration file. Now I'm editing this main.tf file. This is a file and I'm going here. This is an ingress rule. Ingress is nothing but an inbound configuration, inbound rule. So here I have allowed 22 the SSH port accessed allowed for all the people across the global. So what I do is I'm just making a change, which is, let me clear it and check IP. What is my public IP? This is my public IP. I'm just going and putting my public IP right here. So I'm just making SSH only allowed from my public IP, and I'm just also adding some allow only Sarav's. Yeah, so this is Sarav's MacBook Pro. So this is what I have I have made a change. Now I'm just committing it. Now I have done the commit. Now let's go ahead and do Terraform plan. So I'm just doing a Terraform plan. I think I would have to did I made any something wrong here? I think I did. Okay, so there is this stupid single quote I have used, Saravs. So I should have not used it. So allow only Sarav. There is a quote here. So Sarav MVP. Okay, now save it and just do Terraform plan once again. You would be able to see the plan is executing properly. Yes, it is going on. The security group, it's being evaluated. So it is 0 to add, 1 to change, 0 to destroy. So it is going to change the security group in place. So that's the ultimate feature of Terraform, and that's a wonderful thing. So it is not going to recreate it, so it's just going to modify this particular ingress. So it's just going to add a description and change the allowed IP. Now let's go ahead and Terraform apply. I'm just gonna Terraform. I already did Terraform plan. Now I am Terraform applying it. Now let's go back to the screen. here it is still 22 and the description is empty. And let's refresh this page. Is it changed? No, it is still okay. I have to say yes, so that once the execution is completed we would be able to go ahead and verify it. Now that it is changing, you can just see the ID. This is the ID, SG04. This is the one. Apply complete. So are we in the right direction? Right, yes, we are in the right security group. Just refresh it, come here, see the source has changed and description is also changed. Now we have successfully defined it. So now we have like how to say, eliminated necessity to log into your AWS management console all the time to make any changes on inbound or outbound rules. So you don't have to do this. So now all of your security groups is managed by Terraform. And I have, in my post I have explained why you should consider managing your entire infrastructure, AWS infrastructure, not just a security group, in your entire infrastructure with Terraform, because it has a version control. It can enable a lot of how to say, auditing and security features, and also it can make things easy for you, like since it enables a lot of automations, like you can integrate with Jenkins or Travis CA, or a lot of n number of possibilities. So yeah, that's all. This is, I hope this is very helpful for you. If you have any questions or if you're not able to understand any of this part, make sure that you write in comments. I would try to reply as soon as possible. Thank you. We'll see it in another video.